downstairs. You can't answer the door in those clothes.
I'm not answering in these clothes. I'm going out in these clothes. These are my clothes for going out in.
Well, that's not your door for going out in. Downstairs and through the area.
Area? What is area?
Oh.
Oh.
Is my brother in?
Completely. Asleep.
Still?
Still? Well, that I think depends. When did you last observe him so?
But it's nearly noon.
No. It's only nearly 11:30.
You may safely admit...
Yes, you have introduced yourself. Unless your brother has more than one sister.
He hasn't. And you've introduced yourself too. With your accent. If it's Swedish.
It is. How do you do, as the English say, never expecting to be told. Good morning. Cab.
Oh!
Good morning, Sarah.
I didn't expect you back today, Miss Elizabeth.
I know.
You wasn't up there long, hardly long goodbye.
That's all it was just now, too.
Hmm?
When the captain went out.
Captain Ritson? I thought he was still asleep.
No, it's my brother who is. I trust Edward isn't too.
Edward? Didn't he just answer the door to you?
I'm sure he didn't, unless he's caught a Swedish accent from our guest and acquired a gentleman's wardrobe. My luggage ticket, Euston. Would you give it to Edward, please? And his cab fare.
I don't think this will be enough, Miss Elizabeth. Even without the extra for the luggage, there's only enough here for one way.
Yes, the way back, the way there, Edward shall walk.
Of course, being a footman. Would that be all, Miss Elizabeth?
No, Sarah, not quite. When my mother originally interviewed you for the position here, did you wear anything like that?
Like this?
No, Sarah, like that.
Oh, no, I wasn't in uniform then.
Were you in silk? That's the point.
Point, Miss Elizabeth.
I should think if you were, Sarah, you'd have been recommended to seek employment in Paris.
Don't you like my uniform?
Oh, I quite do. Excepting only that, although so individual, it is a uniform. But when my parents return, greet them in something a little less emancipated.
Emaciated?
I think you've understood, Miss Sarah. Also, Sarah...
Yes, Miss Elizabeth?
Yes, Sarah. How often do you travel by cab?
Hmm?
Not many an under-house parlour-maid would be expected to know the fare to and fro the first railway station mentioned her.
Oh, well, Miss Elizabeth, I haven't been an under-house parlour-maid very long.
Down, Sarah. In your silk. To the kitchen, please. I should like not morning tea, but coffee. Much of it, black. So I think we'll Captain Ritson. I didn't know I got up so late. It was already Monday. Or are you indeed a weekend early?
Father bagged 37 brace yesterday. Mother elucidated that Olive May, a Gaiety girl, will soon become the Countess of Droida. The traffic along the bedroom landings of husbands who had come without wives to the doors of wives who had come without husbands differed from that of Piccadilly only in that the pedestrians wore dressing gowns. Between the slaughter of grouse, reputations and fidelities, I decided that Perthshire in October was no place for a girl with a social conscience.
Oh, Lord, I'd hoped you left yours up there.
At a Scottish house party, consciences are deposited in the kirk. They are visited of a Sunday, dusted off and tucked back out of sight again. I prefer to carry mine on my own shoulders where I can see it.
Like an organ grinder's monkey, always a beck.
Rose caught a cough at the kirk.
Rose?
Amand, who is short for Rosie to our Jewish visitors and for Rosamond to our Gentile. Our head house parlour-maid, acting as my duenna.
Oh, Rose.
Rose. Pierce, however, is well. You do remember our chauffeur, now doubling as father's loader.
I also remember Hudson, our butler, now doubling as father's valet. And I see no reason to inquire after the health of every servant who's had to traipse from the basement here to the Highlands without those.
Which, James, is why you should have gone out to the shoot and not me. You had the appropriate attitude, that of indifference.
How indifferent was Mother when you insulted her Caledonian host by leaving?
Oh, Mother had her reason not to notice mine. Roberts. Do you remember Roberts?
Mother's lady's maid. How is she?
Shattering, as usual.
Huh?
Perhaps it's the moorland weather, the shivering it induces. But in 2 crisp, raw weeks, she's demolished more household ornaments up there than she did down here all summer.
She broke so much down here.
Didn't you notice?
How could I? There's so much knick-knackery littered about the place. It's all a blur to me.
Well, and to me too, but Mother wonders if Roberts might not be best left up there, particularly as the McLuhan children seem to have taken a fancy to her. If she became a nanny, what she broke and what the Mac children broke might prove indistinguishable.
Might even have the goodness to break each other.
Well, by all means, look debauched, but try not to sound it. So, how have you found Sarah?
Sarah?
I distinctly heard you address her by name in the hall just now, so I am confident you need not be reminded who, or rather, what she at least is.
I distinctly didn't find her. You found her in a queue for hot soup. You also reinstalled her here.
On approval. So, has she proved satisfactory? Should, in short, Sarah be retained?
I hardly noticed the girl.
Well, that is a recommendation in itself. But this isn't. She dusts around.
Oh, steady on. Oh. There's so much dust here. Alice must have started you.
Oh, no, Rose would have seen. What do you mean?
I mean, you can't say that, because if Rose had seen, she'd have reprimanded Alice and had her dust never again around at all.
If there'd been anything to see.
If she'd seen it, if there had been.
Alice,
Rose,
I don't think you followed me.
I don't think you've quite made yourself clear.
As clear as the litter you've left on the floor.
Huh?
Well, no doubt picking it up might occupy Sarah, but one should set servants not only tasks, but examples. Dropping cigar bands on the floor as you just did is only slightly more civilized than spitting out cigar ends. Is that what you propose to do next?
I pierced my cigar, didn't you notice? And threw the band in there, look.
Threw it so hard it bounced off the flames?
Huh?
And over the room, through the door to there? And I do fancy I can just perceive an expectorated cigar end.
Extraordinary. I could have sworn it. You and Axel aren't going to get along, I fear. Cigar bands are neither here nor there to him either.
Axel?
Captain Ritson.
You are saying it is your guest who has behaved like a pig down here this morning and not yourself?
My guest has the cleanly habits of his race. Did I not tell you he would be a Swede?
Sure he is.
You should not be surprised, therefore, to hear that he is where he is every morning, hard on noon, still in his bath.
Oh, yes, I should be.
I confess it's a place not commonly frequented by Englishmen every morning, let alone week.
I think you're mistaken, James. I think. However scrubbed, he has been a trot and a snuffle about this house while you snored, in your own porcine way, soundly on.
He is also an officer and a gentleman. I trust, Elizabeth, when I introduce you to him, you will use language that justifies my describing you as my sister. Pig isn't a word one commonly associates with breeding.
Isn't it? I thought that to breed was the purpose of a pig. Hence the expression, all men are pigs.
I have never observed, nor heard of it observed, a man give birth.
No, it's invariably women who bear the consequences of swinish behaviour. Other than to behave like a pig, what was the purpose of your guest in turning Mother's favourite room into a sty?
Oh, if anybody did, I did.
A noble pretence, James. But as one who does all things by halves, you are not capable of such squalidity.
Apparently I was this morning.
Apparently?
Well, who else could have been? It is Sarah's first morning duty to clean these rooms. Since then, the only cigar smoker to set foot, or should I say trotter, in them has been myself. Hear me. Too much schnapps last night.
Too much what?
A Scandinavian beverage. Axel brought a barrel.
Hardly having noticed, Sarah, how can you so surely adumbrate her duties?
Huh?
To the extent of being in any way confident she touched this room at all this morning.
Oh, you smashed the wall. I am confident, Elizabeth, because apart from palpably lighting the fire, she's also palpably tidied away my cigar case.
What cigar case?
The cigar case I left there last night.
You've never had a cigar case?
I have now.
Abracadabra, a cigar case. An invisible one.
No. I repeat, the captain is a Swede.
We were discussing a fictitious cigar case, not an unsalubrious foreigner.
Swedes, and I'll tell you, Elizabeth, I'd rather be a pig than a prig, have the civilized habit of bringing gifts to their host. He bought me a very splendid cigar case. Even had the pleasant thought to have it inscribed not only with my initials, but the crest of my regiment.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yes, gold all through. You'll melt it down, or? Or? Might it have more value as the frame it is? I haven't seen one like it before.
Oh, it would be sacrilege to separate it from the portrait. This is Tudor.
Burn the portrait.
Burn it? No, no.
Yes, yes, it's a family heirloom. Could be very easily traced.
Not on the continent.
Ah.
Take it to high school in Amsterdam. I shall accept 30% of his 25%.
It's worth my trouble. I was sailing straight to Stockholm.
It's worth more than all you brought me since you came to London.
Well, there are another 6.
I advise you strongly to attend to them, forgetting all else. This, however, is by no means glass.
And it is by no means of irresistible value.
Leave it. I will reset the diamond in an engagement ring.
I will leave you this instead.
By itself, this is scarcely worth leaving.
With the other pieces from the set.
How will you bring them? One by one?
None by none. Keep that one for surrendering.
Surrendering. To whom?
I shall tell you before I leave. Skål. En snaps smakar bra även ur en engelsk kaffekopp.
Den smakar bra. Ju vad som helst. Skål. A nice shield. Worth noting.
Have a cigar.
You will see my cigar case when Sarah returns it to me.
There's no need to bluster, James. It's a sign of mendacity.
I am indifferent to your insults. You always were a spiteful sister. You're aging into a worse spinster.
Sticks and stones, James, break no bones.
You got that wrong. Not bones, crones. Is that why you've come back so early? Assumed, have you, so correctly that my guest is a bachelor.
Oh, really, Jimmy child?
Curiosity thrilled the cat, huh?
I will decide the precise curiosity value of your cigar-biting friend when he returns. At the moment, I'm fully occupied by Mother's request to see if the maid I've engaged is proving satisfactory.
If by that you mean Sarah, stop play acting. I heard you tell the girl not to wear silk, so you decided to retain her before you arrived.
That was before she took so long to bring the coffee order.
Oh, well, if I'd forgotten it, why shouldn't she? Didn't you hear me mention Axel to her? Isn't it possible that she is listening for him to come down, not wishing my coffee to get cold, while I, polite as ever, await him?
Captain Axel Ritson has come down. And Captain Axel Ritson has gone out.
When?
He passed me at the door. And I told Sarah so.
Really? Never known to get up before noon previously? Except on manoeuvres?
He didn't impress me as a rip.
Why should he have?
Well, with this hint and that, you led me to expect one. Instead, I saw a man who looked the part, but behaved like a metronome.
I led you to expect someone who'd come and go while you were away.
Ah, am I untimely?
Huh?
Have you been romping here?
Romping?
Schnapping. I never knew that beverage had the aroma of lavender.
It hasn't.
Well, this sofa has. And that chair exudes attar of roses.
My guest, Elizabeth, is here on his military duties. I am merely returning the hospitality in every possible particular that he afforded me when I was in his country on duty. Romping has nothing to do with it. Find my cigar case, Sarah.
Sir?
I left, never mind.
Sarah?
Yes, Miss Elizabeth?
What is so special about these? This and that.
Would that be Chinese?
I mean, Sarah, they appear to be the only ornaments under which you have dusted.
It's just that I'm frightened to break the bigger things, so I don't like to shift them.
I should not have thought you were a girl so easily frightened, Sarah. Perceiving you were still in silk.
Well, I'm only here till Monday.
You may go out this afternoon if you wish. To remain here after Monday. In the unsilken uniform you would do well to come back with. From your afternoon outing.
Thank you, Miss Elizabeth.
Why disperse these? This belongs in there, and so does that, with the set.
Then Mother dispersed the set. Why shouldn't she?
So that she could put it all back together again when she came back from Scotland.
As she so often says, one must keep oneself occupied.
What has getting up at midday to do with? The gallant captain's military duties? Or shall it transpire that he is in as much need to recover from these nightly romps as are you?
It has to do, Elizabeth, with the arduous nature of his military duties.
Oh?
I recollect when I was in Sweden observing manoeuvres for the War Office, my duties were so pressing I never got into plain clothes. You will see that the captain suffers the same inconvenience.
By plain clothes you mean what?
That he is so constantly on duty that he invariably wears his regimental uniform. Surely you noticed that at the door.
Well, if that was a uniform, James, it was a most unprecedented one. The colour of snuff and not a brass button in sight.
Good morning. Morning. Ah.
So early. And so charming. But are you Flossie? Or Flo? I am to guess.
Flossie or Flo who?
This is my sister, Elizabeth.
I assure you I am no less charmed. Elizabeth.
But will Flossie and Flo no less be too when they arrive for their afternoon romp and find me present?
Romp? What is romp?
More to the point, sir. Who are you?
Captain... James, please introduce me.
My sister well knows who you are, Captain Ritson. I didn't hear you go out, nor return.
Out.
Out?
It appears, Captain, that my brother, in the absence of his parents, has been dining your countrymen in this house en masse. Coffee?
Please.
And possibly due to your barrel of schnapps and various of his flossies and flows, at least one of them was unable to proceed home until after breakfast.
Breakfast?
Just a little bite of cigar. Flossie or Flo?
Look, listen, up it, round and down, through the bloody area.
Good noon, Edward.
And you can get out of your fancy dress. Your little panto's finished. Yours and your captain's.
Who left her luggage there? It's in my way.
The daughter's back, you fool, Miss Elizabeth.
Oh, charming girl. She will amuse the captain.
Look, get back down there. If she sees you, it'll take more than your precious captain to defend you.
Did you drop something?
Yes, a hint as big as... What? My, look who's being so helpful.
You don't mind helping Mrs. Britches now, do you?
Well, a cook likes to be helped in her kitchen, not in my pantry, you know.
I know I...
And you, Kraft, what'll be your reward?
Oh, I have that, sir. Always, in the estimation my master has for me.
Sir? Yes? The police, sir, and a person whose name I could not catch. A foreign name, sir.
You sent for me, sir?
Yes, come in, Sarah, please.
You are Sarah...
I will question my own servants, Inspector. Ah, Sarah. This is a policeman. And this is a jeweller. And they say that a certain person pawned this article this afternoon and was followed back here.
The other piece, and not that one.
The one I brought.
And does it matter? Was followed back here, Sarah, because the jeweller took it upon himself to think it suspicious that so well-dressed a person should want to pawn anything. Now, Sarah, have you anything you feel you might say about it? I don't know the precise value of it, but I should think it would fetch £200. Maybe £300.
Oh. Well, yes. I'd like to tell the truth, sir. All of it.
Anything you have to say?
I pawned it. To him. I'm sorry, sir. I haven't pawned everything you've given, but I thought, well, if someone was to come into my room and see that, they might tumble to us and...
I'm afraid I shall have to ask you, sir, whether you indeed did give that article to the young woman.
I trust you'll then have the discretion to ask no more.
I see, sir. Quite, sir.
I do apologise, sir. I thought... And I apologise to you too, miss. I could have sworn a gentleman pawned it. I must have been dreadfully confused.
Sir? The police, sir, and a lady whose name I could not catch.
Oh, what are you doing here?
What are you?
Good afternoon, Lieutenant.
Inspector Hurst.
You identify this man as a person?
Certainly not. This man is my husband. And didn't I tell you it was a... That's her.
What is this?
You identify this as your property, sir?
Ah, my mother's, yes. Where did you get it?
I got it. From her. What are you doing here?
I thought that I had received stolen property. I went to the police.
The two of us? Mm-hmm. We have two shops, you see. When this girl bought that miniature, I could tell at a glance it was the Hilliard, but I made sure of it with the National Portrait Society. They were able to tell, and it's of enormous value.
Hardly the thing to be given lightly to a servant.
Given? To a servant?
And now I know that I confuse nobody. That was the woman. Good heavens, she's probably been pawning things all over London all afternoon.
I didn't. I bought this cotton uniform. Look!
I must ask you, sir, most regretfully, why you've attempted to shield a thief.
Will you permit a foreigner? As my master left only 2 hours ago, I conclude that Lieutenant Bellamy was concerned that so timely a departure after a robbery might place him under suspicion. And being unaware that anything of real value had been stolen, told, as the English say, a white but noble lie, even if it meant sacrificing his own domestic reputation. I will tell the captain, and I'm sure he will be impressed and touched, sir. I trust I may absent myself from the distressful spectacle of this young miscreant's arrest.
You criminal! These are real police.
I mean, no doubt of it. And no doubt they will see to it that you will feel quite at home in prison. Au revoir.
Het is ongewoon goed weer voor Amsterdam.
What does he say?
That it is unusually good weather for Amsterdam.
It's raining.
It's his way of saying that the miniatures are genuine.
Ja, beroemdstelletje. Maar...
What now?
He says it's a famous set.
Er waren 7.
But there should be 7.
Ja, jammer, die alleen 6 gestolen had.
Such a pity we stolen only 6.
Tell him one had to be sacrificed to my reputation. It was so hard to preserve what's left of it since I was court-martialed over that unfortunate card game with my colonel.